Good morning out there, everybody. How are we doing this morning? This is Dan back with you here from Appalachia. We're going to have another video, I hope, this morning to do with y'all. If you want to go along, this one's going to be pretty interesting, I think. Who all out there like science and about rockets and stuff like that? Well, we got a story here from southern Appalachia here, a place called Coalwood, West Virginia. That's where I'm headed right now. Lordy mercy, these roads are curvy. I think a person was chasing a snake when they dug these roads back in the day. But anyway, we're gonna do a video today on they called them the Rocket Boys here from Coalwood, West Virginia, from back in the late 50s, 50s there. And we're going to go over there today and kind of go through the coal camp there and look at some stuff, and maybe some stuff that they left behind, or some information there we might be able to talk about. But yeah, this is about Homer Hickam Jr. He got into a hobby back when he was in high school there at Big Creek High School, that very interested in rockets he was, especially after the Russia put up that satellite they called the Sputnik, and that really got him on the course of interest in rocketry. But anyhow, through help through the community and his teacher, faithful teacher Miss Riley, they got him on the way to science fair and winning that. Going on, he went on to do greater, bigger things we'll talk about later. But yeah, let's go over there and check out Coalwood, Frog Level, that area there where they were from, and see what we can find out. But we'll catch you there. See if we can get across this snaky road through here. Get you in a bit. Homer Hickam was born February 19th, 1943 in Coalwood, West Virginia, a company coal town, where his father, Homer Sr., worked as a mining engineer and administrator. And his mother's name was Elsie. He was raised, like I said, in Coalwood, West Virginia. Homer Jr. began his love for space at the early age. Along with his friends, they named themselves the Big Creek Missile Agency. Yet the town were known as for the town, they was known as the Rocket Boys, which became the title of the Hickams' bestseller. Although building rockets was a childhood pastime, the excitement of space exploration never left Hickams' heart. No, it sure didn't, because he went on farther to lead there. After going to college in Virginia Tech for an industrial engineer degree, Hickam volunteered to travel to Vietnam as an Army engineer. Once his 6 years with the Army were up, Hickam started working with the military aviation and missile departments. Wow. Okay, folks, here's some information here that they got along the road here on them. This is left to right, it's Homer, Sonny Hickam, and Quentin Wilson, Roy Lee Cook, Odell Carroll, not pictured as Sherman Sears and Billy Rose. But October 5th, 1957, the Soviets launched Sputnik. January 31st, 1958, the United States launched Explorer 1. Great technical scientific achievements had been profound influence on their lives of several young men in Coalwood. Homer Hickam became the center figure in the group of the boys. Big Creek High School, who learned about the designed, constructed, and launched their own rockets. The first rocket Homer built was less than a success, pieced together with parts from plastic airplane models and flashlight casings rather than soar into the air. It exploded and destroyed part of the backyard fence. Wow. This did not deter Homer and his friends. Instead, with support from a high school teacher, she helped, which her name was Miss Riley, help from with help from the machinist at the coal mine where his father worked as a superintendent, and driving a curiosity, desire to succeed, they continue with their rockets experiments. To organize their effort, they formed a club, the Big Creek Missile Agency, BCMA, and they give their launching area name Cape Coalwood. Eventually, they were able to build small rockets that could reach altitudes of several miles. Wow. Their story is recounted in the pages of a book, The Rocket Boys, by Homer Hickam, and also published under the title October Sky, which, like I said earlier, there was a movie out about that also, which you can watch if you're interested in that. But the book came #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. Wow. Just right over here, behind this big building here, there is an old machine shop, which that's where a lot of the parts for Homer's rockets was helped to be built by the machinist. But we'll see if we can get a little closer to that maybe here in a bit. Maybe. And wow, that's very interesting. But that's him at the National Science Fair. Got a gold and silver medal award in 1960. National Science Fair is the Science Fair Club of America science service activity conducted in corporations with leading newspapers, educational, industrial, civic organization. Wow. This is these little rockets right there. It's Science Fair. Wow. And it says in 1960, the efforts of Homer and the rest of the Rocket Boys resulted in a trip to a national science fair for Homer. It says here, 1957, the Soviet Union successfully launched Sputnik, the first satellite into orbit. This event marked the beginning of a space race between the United States and Russia. The political and scientific communities of both nations were embarked on a decades-long effort to explore space. Deep in the heart of Appalachia, a small coal mining community of Coalwood, a group of young men embarked on their own adventure to include themselves in the history by developing and launching their own rockets. Wow. We will talk more about Homer in just a bit. He went on and he become very successful in his life there. He went to actually served in Vietnam, I think. Well, we'll get into that just a little bit. And he went on further on, and this wasn't the last that you've seen of Homer right here with these little rockets here. We'll get into that here in a second. But I'm gonna get in the vehicle and maybe go over a little bit of what went on there. Warm up just a little bit. It's about 15 degrees here this morning. You know, Homer, he wasn't wanting to get into mining like his father did. And he had a brother that was into football, and he really didn't was wanting into that either. But they was really interested in science, especially I guess when they saw that Sputnik, that satellite go over for the first time. He was really enthused about that. I'd never seen nothing like that before, and that's the first time that anything like that had ever happened. Actually, Russia was the first one to put one up. Us following, we did afterwards, but Miss Riley his teacher was a very supporter of Homer. It says here, Miss Frida Riley, a science teacher at Big Creek High School, played a crucial role in nurturing his inspiration. She recognized the potential in Hickam and his friends, encouraging them to pursue the rocketry scientific knowledge. Miss Riley provided the boys with books in advanced mathematics and rocket science. Her unwavering belief in their abilities to push them to excel academically and pursue their dreams despite the limitations of their coal mining town. See here, that's all they were here in Coalwood and over all in these Appalachians right here back in that time. That's all you had was coal mining. That's all you knew. And I come from a coal mining family myself, And growing up, that's all it was coal. But these little towns here now is pretty much dwindled away. You know, you see remnants like we're going to see today of the way it was back in the day, son. But it says here she helped the group enter the science fair, opening doors to opportunities beyond Coalwood. Miss Riley's support was instrumental in Hickham's journey, from amateur rocketry enthusiast to NASA engineer. Wow. From these fellows slipping up here on a slate dump back here on top of the mountain, putting off their rockets, and started off, like I said there on the sign, just some plastic and batteries, stuff like that, till him finally working for NASA as an engineer. Wow, what a real move up. I'm telling you, that's something. Goes to show you folks that if you really put your mind to it, you can do anything. They were not to be stopped, that's for sure. They was very smart, them boys was, to be able to do something like that. There was 5 of them here. I think we done mentioned most of them here, all of them. But you know, there was Homer, and you had Quentin, and you had Jimmy, Odell, Sherman, Roy Lee, and Billy Rose. Yeah, that was them. And here's a little bit more in depth of Homer after he graduated from Virginia Tech. But he entered the Army as a first lieutenant in the 4th Infantry Division, serving in the Vietnam from 1967 to 1968, during which this time he won both an Army Commendation and a Bronze Star. When he left the Army 6 years later, he had risen to the ranks of captain. It was after his return from Vietnam that Hickam began to develop his passion for writing for a variety of scuba diving magazines, mostly about his diving adventures. His first novel was Torpedo Junction, published by the Naval Institute. The book was followed by a phenomenal bestseller, The Rocket Boys, turned into a film called October Sky. And wow, he done several things there for sure. Great endeavor it was. I think where I read somewhere, I don't have it here, but I read where that they actually had developed and fired off 35 rockets. And the last day that they fired them, I think it was 6 rockets they fired, and the last one was for Miss Riley. And we're going to go up here where this rocket, there's a rocket up here. They got a simulated one. We'll go up here and look at it and come back down and maybe look to the old shop here before we end out the video this morning. But we'll go up through here and see if we can see some remnants of back in the day. I just want to show you this, folks. This is the actual road going up through there toward the launch site, and they had the holler here where the boys used to take the rockets to let them off. But we're not going to go up through there. They got posted signs up through there, I see. So we'll not be going by posted signs, I don't guess. So. Folks, here's the old shop from back in the day when they were building them rockets there, and a lot of the help was done from right here, this little shop. Coal miners that worked here, that was machinists in there, would help them boys make their nozzles and stuff like that for their rocketry. So cool. But a lot of times went by from back then, for sure. Couldn't get too close to nothing here. We got so much snow on the ground and stuff, it's hard to get around. Probably should have done this video later on in the year, but we had to get one today done, so I thought I'd come over here, do it. Yeah, this is the old shop that they used to make all their mining equipment parts and all that stuff in back in the day. And we'll go take a look at the old mine site, which there's mines there still yet. We pass it several times on videos I've done before. And I'll show you where Homer Sr. worked, was a foreman at. Where the old Ogla number 1 used to sit back in the day. Actually, this is the coal mine part of it right here. Yeah, this is the side of the old Ogla number 1 mine back in the day, where Homer Hickam Sr. was a superintendent at. This used to be a shaft mine back in the day, but mine is, they tore the old shaft down and built new stuff here, prep plant and stuff, and looked much different back in the day for sure. Got some pictures here to show you what it looked like back in the day. But yeah, this is where he was a superintendent at back in the 40s, 50s actually. So folks, I hope you like this little video here. And, I learned something today for sure that I didn't know. I do every time I do a video. So thank you so much for coming along with me today. This is Appalachian Roots with Dan. We'll see y'all next time on the next video. Y'all take care, okay?